Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NABIL ILMAN and my partner is NURUL ATIKAH. So today I will explain about the lab 6, and this is the part 1 for the lab 6. So as you can see, this is the coding, and after we compile the coding in Arduino, so we can go to the Proteus software, and this is the circuit that have built, and you click on the Arduino board and you find the part 1, the hex file for the part 1, and we open and we can run. As you can see, by default when we run the simulation, the servo motor will run at reverse for 230 rpm. So the motor will run until 230 rpm. But if we push the push button, when we push the push button, the motor will run in forward at 460 rpm, and it will increase, the number will increase until 460 rpm, and the motor will run until 460 rpm. So this is the part 1 for lab 6.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. Today I would like to explain the lab 6 exercise 1 Arduino. Okay, first we declare the activation status equal to 0 because the first state of the switch button, we display it, the function of button is stop button. Okay, next set up. We set up the pin on the circuit, which one is the input and which one is the output. So for the looping, void loop, as you can see, the question asks to the circuit, the motor will rotate at one direction, and as you can see, if activation status equal to 1, which is if switch button is on, the speed of motor will increase, the motor angle will start to display on the motor on the circuit, and the RV1 value, the RV1 is function to adjust the speed of the motor. And if activation status equal to 0, switch button is off, the speed of the motor will decrease and
will run the simulation for the circuit. If I turn on the switch, the motor start to rotate and the speed can be adjusted from this resistor. If I increase the value of the resistor, the speed of the motor will increase, and if I decrease the value of this resistor, the speed of the motor will decrease. Okay, so now I will start to switch off the switch. So as you can see, the speed of the motor start to decrease, and slowly the angle of the motor is decreased, and the motor is going to stop rotating when, and the motor angle also start to stop because the motor start to stop the rotation.
Okay, moving on. This is the part 2 for lab 6, and this is the coding for part 2 and This is the coding for part 2 lab 6. And as we can see, this is the circuit for the part 2. And the instruction from the lab sheet tell us to change the angle from 0 to maximum angle from 0 to 180, and we have changed it. And we click on the Arduino board and we can find the exercise 2. So we will find the part 2, the hex file for part 2, and we can open it and we can run it. Okay, so from this part 2, the motor angle increase when voltage increase, and the motor display the rotation angle for each voltage when potentiometer adjusts. So this is the potentiometer, and when we adjust the value of potentiometer, the angle of the motor will change. So when we decrease, and it will change the angle of the rotation motor like this. So this is the part 2 for lab 6. Now let's see at the exercise 2. This is the coding for exercise 2, and it has been compiled and using the same circuit for the exercise 2, and we can upload the coding for exercise 2. This is the hex file. Click OK and we can run the circuit. So this is the coding for, this is the result for exercise 2. The angle of the motor will change also by changing the value of the potentiometer. Now let's take a look for part 3 for lab 4. This is the coding for part 3, and this is the circuit. After we compile the circuit, we can upload to the Arduino, searching for the part 3. You can open the hex file and upload it to the Arduino and run the circuit. So as you can see, the angle increased 90 times than the previous angle, 90, 180, 270, and so on. As you can see, the motor will change its angle after several seconds. And this is the part 3 for lab 6. Okay, this is the last one for the lab 6. So this is the exercise 3, and this is the coding that have been modified, and we're using the same circuit, and we can upload the file for exercise 3, upload the hex file, and we can run. So now for the exercise 3, the angle increased 10 times than the previous angle, 5, 15, 25, and so on. So as you can see, the angle will increase 10 times. And this is the simulation for the lab 6. Thank you.